been serving Him faithfully. Sometimes it feels like God is nowhere within 1,000 miles of you. And Job said, oh, that I knew where I might find Him.
All right.
If I just knew how to get a hold of Him. But He's closer than the mention of His name. Says that I might come to His seat, verse 4, I would order my cause before Him. I'd fill my mouth with arguments. In other words, I would begin telling God, God, what are you doing to me?
Bless Him, Lord.
Lord, what are you doing? Look at this. Do you not know what's going on? Says I would know the words which He would answer me. You feel sometimes that, Lord, all I need is an answer.
Right.
All I need is an answer, God. You know, if I had $1 for every time that I felt God had left me, didn't care anymore, I could probably retire today.
Bless Him, Lord.
Serving the Lord sometimes, you know what it takes? I say sometimes. It takes faith.
Right.
And what is faith? Faith is believing in something even though you don't see it.
Right.
Faith is believing that God has my best interest in heart even when everything is telling me the opposite.
All right.
If I looked out at my life through the natural eyes and I looked at all my situation, I would say, Lord, are you sure you got my best interest in heart? That's what Job was saying here. Oh, that I might know where I could find it.
Right.
If I could find Him, I'd plead my cause before Him.
Yes.
Sometimes when you get down to pray, you feel like your prayers don't go past the ceiling.
All right.
Sometimes you feel like you can't even feel the Lord. God, where are you at?
Yes.
Job said, I would fill my mouth with arguments. I would begin pleading before the Lord, telling Him, God, don't you see what's going on? Won't you move in this situation?
Bless Him, Lord.
And then Job said, and then I would find out what He would answer to me. What my answer is. Sometimes feels like God is silent. Sister Marlene, she said before, she said, you know, she said, sometimes, she said, always, God is right there next to you. I'm not getting it word for word, but it's okay. Always we know that God is going to move, even though sometimes He makes you think that He ain't. Sometimes the Lord feels like, God, do you even know who I am?
All right.
You look out at the world and you look at so-called religious people and you think, Lord, God, you're blessing them.
Yeah.
They're being blessed and here I am sitting in squalor. Now, don't get me wrong. God has blessed us. And I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, sitting in squalor sometimes right here.
Uh-huh. Right.
You feel like old poor Job. That one thing after another, after another, after another. Do you realize with Job, one thing happened right after another the very same day?
Right.
That's why Job said, man, if I could just feel Him.
Yeah.
If I could just feel you, Lord. But you know what God gives us? Even when we can't feel, Brother Dale?
Yes, it's the Word.
Right here.
Yes, His Word.
Right here. This is what God gives us.
Right.
This is what God gave us to live by.
Yes.
Not our feelings. You know, your feelings will deceive you.
Yes, they will.
They can deceive you. You'll feel like going one way, but it's contrary to this. You know what? This is the authority on every subject. He said, I would know the words which He would answer me and understand what He would say to me.
Thank you, Jesus.
Will He plead against me with His great power? No, but He would put strength in me.
Yes.
There the righteous might dispute with Him. So should I be delivered forever from my judge. Behold, I go forward. and backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. Verse 10. But he knoweth the way that I take.
All right.
God knows where we're at, folks.
Yes.
God knows right where we're at.
Yes, he does.
And he's got us held in the palm of his hand, even though it feels like sometimes it is not that way. Romans, the 11th chapter. Romans 11, verse 33. Says, "Oh, the depths of the riches both of the wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out. For who hath known the mind of the Lord? Or who hath been his counselor? Or who hath first given to him, and it shall be recompensed unto him again? For of him, and through him, and to him are all things." In other words, God has everything in his hands. And there's nothing that is outside of his reach. Second Corinthians chapter 12.
Thank you, Lord.
2 Corinthians 12, starting in verse 7. Paul said, "Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure." And let me tell you, you read the Apostle Paul wrote almost the entire New Testament Bible. Almost every single epistle was written by the Apostle Paul. And yet the Apostle Paul had a messenger of Satan to buffet him.
All right.
Even the Apostle Paul said all these things. He said, I've been whipped many times, 40 stripes save one.
Yes.
I've been in the depths of the sea. I've been floating. You realize the Apostle Paul floated in the sea for a night and a day on a piece of broken ship. He was cast away onto an island. He went to start a fire. You think you got it bad?
Yeah. Bless him, God.
Went to start a fire, gathered sticks, and a viper came out and latched onto his arm.
Poisonous.
Poisonous viper. Talk about a bad day.
Thank you, Lord.
Paul says he was let down by a basket. He was imprisoned. He was beaten. He was tortured. He was punished. He said, "Yet I count it all joy." Count it all joy. The Apostle Paul was writing here. He had a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan, to buffet him, to hit at him all the time. Do you realize, you know where we're fighting the devil right now? Right here.
Yes.
"For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places."
Yes.